Warning, the following contains material that may be too disturbing to some people. Descriptions of violence, mature situations, and adult themes. This is intended for mature audiences. Your discretion is advised. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Forest of Flesh, where we're playing some Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition for you guys today. How is everybody doing this week? You guys all doing all right?
Yep.
All right. Well, it's no secret to these guys that I am a little bit sleep deprived, but I'm going to try to keep it up high energy for you guys. I know we got a lot of fun stuff on the docket today for these guys, assuming they don't all murder each other or whatever it is they were doing last time.
What? I think he's going to start off high energy and crash halfway through.
Don't say that. Don't say that. I might do that.
Should we start taking back on how long he lasts?
It is my assessment as the medic of this party.
The medic.
It's the other under.
You guys are in trouble.
This has always been in trouble. What are you talking about?
Let's go around the table, have everyone introduce themselves, their characters. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on with your character right now, and then at the end we will talk about where we are in the world, what is happening currently, how we got into this predicament, and then we'll suffer for 4 hours as I ruthlessly try to murder you all, make you all have a bad time. Does that sound good? First, I'm not actually going to try to make you guys have a bad time. Don't worry. Today's a fun episode, guys. First, we have Ferdisofly coming in with the Diviners. Abe Flo, how's it going, Ferdy?
Everything's good. Hi, I'm Ferdy. I play Abe and Flo, brother and sister duo, who are now changeling under the Arcana of the Wheel of Fortune. Last time, we killed all of our companions, minus Melora. And
we didn't kill Hands.
Marred Flesh is only unconscious. He's not dead.
Okay, yeah.
Hands
most of them are either
too.
asleep or like Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Why? Why did you have to do that?
I blame you. This is your fault.
They rolled pretty bad on their wisdom save.
Yeah.
It happened because they're weak. Weak-minded.
Yeah.
Maki-e, that's rude. That's not how we say things.
I can think of a few people who failed a pretty big wisdom save recently. But I'm sure
I
that
don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember anything of the sort.
that won't be a problem, surely. All right. Well, thank you, Ferdy. Yes, you have taken out some of your allies, but maybe they'll I don't know, not stay dead. I don't know. They're probably dead. One guy's got his freaking head cut off, so.
Ew.
Two of them actually.
That's. Did you cut Cursed's head off too, or
he didn't cut it off? He ripped it off.
Right, that's right. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. I almost forgot that. I tried to repress that memory. I couldn't effectively. You guys remembered. That's too bad. It's minus 3 XP from the party. All right.
Thanks.
Took away the dog's ball. Had to get a new one.
Yeah.
All
right.
You could have just asked. We could have made you a new one. I tried to make you a new one, but you ripped her head off.
Speaking of trying to make you a new one, we got Mori playing Lucero. Mori? How's it going?
I have a headache. Lucero has a headache.
It is that day of the week, I suppose.
Everybody's acting weird. Everybody's being aggressive. I've gotten bit by an axe that drinks blood.
Yeah,
Cursed
yeah.
Cursed thought everybody was out, especially Myrkrið was out to get her, which she wasn't completely wrong considering he ripped her head off her shoulders.
Yeah, yeah. No worries. No worries. I'm sure Myrkrið will get what's coming to him. Well, thank you.
He's a
Mori.
bad dog. He needs a bath.
Is there anything else going on?
Well, I probably should check the rest of the party over and make sure everybody else is okay, considering everybody seems to have gone start raving bonkers.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Candor was acting totally normal.
Which is stark raving bonkers.
Yeah, kind of was acting normal. Like, to be fair, you were attacked first, Myrkrið. So
Exactly.
there's that.
In Luce's defense, they don't know that.
The thing is with Myrkrið, there's no middle ground. It's okay. I don't kill you and I rip you to shreds. There's no like in between. So that's too bad. Not the greatest social skills on that guy. Go figure.
I wonder why.
Up next, we got Keo playing Quartz. Keo, how's it going? How has your quest to help people find their desires been working on your companions so far?
Well, speaking of in between, she's the one trying to keep people alive, but it doesn't make sense to keep them alive right now because it's too much of a hassle. And she's just trying to get them out of the range of the whatever curse is happening to everyone so that we can fix it.
Yeah.
She did try to keep them from fighting each other for a while, but then I mean she can only do so much, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So stay out of the fallout zone. Got it.
Yeah, but right now she has a giant rock animated and she's carrying some, I don't know, bodies, I'm assuming. I think I told people to put bodies on the stone so that the stone can fly.
Yeah, I think you did.
There's a few
One
dead
body,
bodies.
one
and-
passed out person, and Luce is
Yeah.
still carrying flesh.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
Alright.
Using her as a chew toy.
as of right now, we're on our way to try to get out of this area so that we can escape the madness. But who knows what other things are in store for us.
Well, best of luck to you. Surely it can't get any worse. All right, up next we got Wolfrin, who's
Do I
playing...
need to find you and smack you now?
Up next we've got Wolfrin, who's playing Myrkrið for you guys. Wolfrin, how are things?
Good. Now, while Cursed didn't lie, technically, she did instigate that he's after me things. So, Myrkrið is actually trying to be helpful for once. That's why he killed the allies for their own good.
Does Myrkrið know?
Well, one of the allies.
Does Myrkrið know about the sort of like madness onslaught that's been waged against everyone? Is he like?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. So he's not really like aware of.
Did he not hear when Quartz yelled it out loud last time?
Oh, of course he did, but he doesn't. He doesn't necessarily believe that. That's the only reason he's helping. I mean, so he thinks this is just the inevitable betrayal of these people, but he's willing to humor you.
Yeah. Like he.
I think it just went in one ear, out the other.
Yeah,
basically.
It's possible he was blinded by fury, or, just wasn't listening, or doesn't matter. To be honest, like doesn't care.
I don't think Myrkrið has ever lost control before. That doesn't sound okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. There was the one time they almost had to kill you to stop you.
What? I didn't hear you.
But okay, yeah, okay, all right, fair enough.
They called his mother a hamster.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you, Wolfrin. Up next, we've got Zella playing Maki-e for you guys. Ella, how's it going?
Today is my dog daughter's birthday, so I might be a little distracted giving her treats once in a while.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yes. It's been raining a lot, so we haven't been able to do much, like take her on walks or anything. So she's been very rambunctious.
All right, right on. Well, hope Doggo's okay. Happy birthday to Doggo. Extra treat for us, I say.
Ella! I tossed one to her.
Oh, okay,
She's sniffing something. I don't know what it is.
Okay, right on.
Yes. Maki-e spent most of last session watching the drama. She now has a bag of stuff that the others said to take away from Cursed Deception, but I don't know that she knows what's in it. Does she know what's in it?
Yeah, you would. You took her.
Does she know it's the drugs?
Yeah, you took the
Luce
bag.
did ask her to pass them out, but she never did do it.
Yeah.
Oh yes, because she thinks it's drugs, and she doesn't want everyone getting addicted.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, it wouldn't be very enlightened of them to do so. So.
No, you must keep your bodies, which are your temples, healthy and clean.
Yeah, and your mind strong and sharp like a sword.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Fair enough. Cool. I dig it. All right. Best of luck to all.
They don't get their spells back without it.
Glad to see you guys gave that to the right person.
Of course.
To be fair, everybody else has got a lot going on. Pretty much, a few people at least have had a lot going on.
I don't know that she really knows that it gives back spells and is basically like a long rest.
Yeah, have you seen it yet? Or
no, Maki-e wasn't around when they described what it does. She just knows that they've been saying, "Hey, give me some of that stuff," and then inhaling or drinking or whatever it is they're doing, and they seem to have
a weird cross between the two.
They have really happy expressions on their face when they do it, and that's like definitely a sign of an addictive substance being consumed. So
have you guys ever seen that?
Have to sit her down and explain it.
You guys ever seen that movie? It's like the Ballad of Dewey Cox or something like that.
No.
Walk Tall.
Sounds somewhat familiar.
Ballad of Dewey Cox. Well, it's like making fun of the Walk the Line movie, Johnny Cash. It's like a fictional musician. It's a huge comedy. And there's a scene where it's like he's like playing in a club and he goes in the back room where his like band is hanging out with like groupies or whatever, and they're doing drugs, and he's like, "Whoa, what are you guys doing?" And they're like, "Drugs, Dewey, you don't want none of this." And he's like, "Why? What does it do?" And he's like, "It takes all your bad thoughts and turns them into good thoughts." And he's like, trust me, Dewey, you don't want none of this stuff. And he's like, "I think I kind of want some of this stuff." I was imagining that scene, but it was like you guys, obviously. So
I mean, that phrase makes it sound like it makes you believe your bad thoughts are a good thought.
Yeah.
Is that what they actually meant? Not that your bad thoughts go away. And
they're making fun of it. Yeah, they're making fun of the idea. But it starts off with like marijuana, and then by the end it's a repeated gag, and then by the end of the movie it's like super hard, crazy stuff.
Oh, I see.
It's like a morphing gag over the movie. It's also making fun of a direct scene from the Johnny Cash biopic or whatever, Walk the Line. Anyways, enough jokes about drugs. Thank you, Zella, I guess. I'll blame that on you. All right. Last but not least, we have Zach playing Candor for you guys. Zach, how are you?
Not bad. Yeah,
Right
pretty normal week.
Right on. Glad to hear it. How's Candor?
Just getting used to.
Oh, did we lose you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Getting
There
used
you go.
to. Getting used to what?
I'm getting used to whatever's going on.
We cut off again.
It keeps cutting out.
Getting used to whatever's.
So whatever's going on with Candor.
Okay, all right.
I'm starting to feel like this is on purpose.
Are you okay, Zach?
No, yeah, it's fine. I don't know what's going on.
It feels like whatever's going on with Candor has extended to Candor's player.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, well, so you guys, through some circumstance, found yourselves wandering in the void. You've teamed up with some locals who have offered to try to help you find your way, I guess, find your way back to the city for now. They've also introduced you to someone they know as Faithless Sorrow. You happen to know as Melora. She remembers her name being Melora. She doesn't like this new name she's been given. Through circumstance related to a certain unanswered, dodged, passed around prayer that one of you got while in heaven before you got stuck here. You have been trying to reach the city after catching up with Melora. Your minds were assaulted by presumably the master of this group, the master of this sort of motley crew down here, who has been punishing them for some reason, being the Master of Madness or the Prince of Madness, I think was the title he had, something along those lines. It probably doesn't matter the reason, or it's an insane one. Who cares? He is not a just and loving God. So you had to cut some of your friends' heads off because they wouldn't stop attacking you. You had to knock some of them out, whatever. You're dragging them toward the city, I think. You're trying to get out of the range of this effect so it doesn't make things worse. Basically is what was going on, I think, when we left off. That sort of really rattled the party a lot more than I think any of us expected, could have ever dreamed in their best dreams of tormenting you guys. It has definitely been a huge success. I think we left off on this screen. You all were sort of taking your bodies, carrying them on rocks, asking them to tag along as you sprint towards the edge of the map to try to get out of this this terrible effect that has gripped most of you by now, I think. So we fade back in on just where we left off. Actually, I think, did we say we were going to skip ahead today? Did we say that? I think we did, right?
We were talking about it.
You said we could.
We could.
I don't remember this.
You left.
Oh, okay.
So here's the question: you guys were clear. You weren't still fighting each other, actually, if I recall, right? I think the
Was
combat...
Lucero still trying to get Candor to come down, or did they come to an agreement? I can't remember.
Lucero's dropping it for now.
Is following?
Is Candor following the group?
Yeah, he's going to the front, basically.
All right, you may move yourself to the front if you like.
I thought previously I would.
Yeah, Candor had gone up to catch up to Myrkrið.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't touch any tokens between games.
No, I'm just saying, like, at the end of last time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So if you got something you want to to play out or something before we maybe jump ahead, you guys are welcome to it. Have at it. Or some conversation you want to have or anything, go for it.
No,
How
not
long do we
particularly.
travel
Just wanting to be kind of in between the groups.
Sure. What were you gonna say, Wolfrin?
How long do we travel before we decide this is far enough to be safe? I think Keel is, Quartz is turning.
I think you guys had rolled a success to sort of figure out the effect, right? Or identified it or something like that? Somebody identified
Lucero had?
I think you'd identified it, yeah. Here, let me pull it up again here and take a look. I think it was like a couple miles, if I recall. Let's see.
I think it was a mile.
It might be a mile, yeah. Let me see here.
I think it was. I don't know distances in that distance, but I think you had said it would be about an hour because we had walked an hour in and it would be about an hour out because Melora was at the center of it.
Yeah, okay, so it spins at least 1 hour within 1 mile. So it's 1 mile. You had to spend an hour there. Okay, and that was, I think it picked up when the rain was going on. You guys took shelter under that thing. That's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna be hitting them with this soon. So about a mile is probably how far you'll need to go. Now, probably wouldn't take you terribly long to go a mile. I mean, it is rocky terrain. It's not like you're running on a road. So that's gonna slow you down a little bit, but I still don't think it would take a full hour. I mean, if you guys were sprinting,
Had to carry characters, by the way.
yeah, you are carrying characters. That's going to slow you down a little bit too, I suppose.
Myrkrið does. Once the floating slab catches up, he throws Cursed's body on there, but he keeps the head.
Okay, sure.
But I mean, even going at a casual pace, I can do a mile in about half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually 3 miles per hour for D&D things.
Yeah. So I mean,
the floating slab also gives a speed boost to people next to him.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
Oh, really?
Just like, yeah.
Awesome.
If I can find it. Where's my dancing item? It's like 10 feet if you're next to it.
Okay.
Extra.
So about a third of normal walking speed extra. So, I mean, we're looking at maybe like 15, 20 minutes tops, probably. I think at this point
Yeah.
we're getting into the 15, 20 minute
that's
range.
if we did. That's if we even decide to stop outside the mile and not push to go more to be safe.
Yeah. What would you guys do? Would you go a little bit further?
I mean, a little for safe, I would think.
I would want to just to be
But-
safe.
Sure.
I would push
Maki
it
is going
at least-
until everybody is in agreement that we can stop and rest because she needs to stop and rest.
Yeah. All right.
Luce would pick her up if she starts lagging.
Does anyone have
She is not lagging. She's way ahead.
Does anyone have a strength or constitution score under 10?
Yes.
Okay. Can you make an athletics check, please?
Let it.
Yes.
Is this to jump over thing?
This is just for the run, for running for 20, 30 minutes straight, essentially sprinting. I mean, you're a good like short bursts of speed type for sure. But
I mean, my normal speed is 50, so.
yeah, but like for a significant amount of time, I just want to see if you might be winded. That's all. I think you're fine.
It's called Body of a Monk.
Yeah. No problem. Not even out of breath. All right. Anybody else have a strength or con under 10?
No. Myrkrið does change back into his elven form. So
I do not, but I have an exhaustion level 1.
Yeah, that's right. You picked it up last time, I think. What was it from? Do you remember?
Doesn't that just affect your skills? You have disadvantage on skills. I think that's all you have when it's level 1.
For level 1.
Yeah. It'll go away when you take a rest.
I could see it roleplay wise taking effect.
Threw your back out or something, right? I think you went to pick up a rock. A big rock, yeah.
And I rolled
They were trying to make a grave or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They were asking Maki-e for help, and then they just started digging in the rock.
Yeah. Okay.
You said lower than 10, right?
Yeah, lower than 10. Yeah.
Oh, okay, mine's at 10.
No, you're fine. Okay. So
Lucero would probably stay near the back to basically like hurt everybody.
Yeah.
I've got 19 for both.
Okay. In that case, you've gotten. We fast forward. We skip to we see basically the group of you all. The terrain is sort of changed. There's a lot less water in the area. It's more just rocky in the area we fade into, and you are all basically ending your run. You're slowing down back to a walk, and you're at the base of kind of what looks like a mountain. That you're about to be climbing. There is a sort of walking path, like a worn path in the stone that sort of like leads up this mountain, and you can't really see what's on the other side of it. It's a scale you're about to make, but you're at a spot where you can kind of turn around and look at the location you're coming from, and it feels like you've gone about a mile, maybe a little bit more. I don't know how much you'd be able to see because it is dark, so you probably wouldn't be able to like see all the way back there. But if you had really super awesome dark vision, you might. Now, what are you all doing?
Who needs a rest?
I'm sure we should stop.
For those who need a rest, I have a spell that can help speed things along.
I'm down for a rest. I'm quite exhausted. My back hurts.
Sure.
So I would say the two of you are willing then?
Yeah.
I could rest.
Let me see.
How long does the
All right.
sleigh slab like?
Oh, it's done at the end of the hour. So I would have stopped. I would have just I would have like slowly fallen down to the ground, and then Quartz would have been like, "So, who wants to take them the rest of the way?"
I can continue to carry flesh, and I can do one of the others. I'll just need somebody to carry at least hands.
Mard will wake
Hands
up
isn't
in
dead.
another hour.
Hands should be awake now.
Oh, that's right.
Then I
Hands
can
was
do ruin.
unconscious. Wait, it's only been like a 20-minute run, right?
Because it was what was it? He was like stupefied for like a minute.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah, Hands
Oh,
was
so he
okay,
would have woken
Mark
up
was
on the rock.
unconscious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, sure. Hands
Well,
can.
other
wake
than
up.
talking to his grandma.
Yeah. There was that whole thing. Where is Hans's token? Is it there with the shit?
Right here.
Uh,
Oh, okay. I just couldn't see.
It was
it.
underneath.
Is that whole
Underneath, right?
sleep deprivation thing. All right. So, Hands can wake up and regroup with everybody. What's going on? He wakes up and he's like, "What happened?"
No, he ran with us.
Oh, he did? All right. How long was he out? How long was he out?
He would have only been out for like a minute.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he was. Okay.
So we wouldn't have been able to.
He was
to
charmed.
time-
He wasn't like unconscious.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hypnotic
Never
pattern.
mind. You guys do what you want. So Hans is awake.
Is awake and we're outside of the zone, or are we still in the zone? When
He was
We
awake.
think we're outside
So-
the zone.
He was awake long before you were outside, or quote unquote outside the zone.
yeah, I was just wondering if we're going back to that scene or not. Is all.
No, we don't need to go back.
Like, is he going to cause trouble, or is he just following it?
No.
Okay.
Hell, he might even be like leading you. In all honesty.
Helping Melora.
Or are we racing?
Well, I mean,
For the record.
not like that. Jeez Louise, rabbit. No, I'm saying he knows the way.
Oh.
Wasn't he believing? Not that I want to go back, but wasn't he believing Cursed? And then while he was stupefied, Cursed got killed. So he wakes up and Cursed is like in pieces. Is he
And
okay
at
with
one
this?
point on the way, I did say while he was still stupefied to just let it happen. I think.
Yeah.
Because we need to get out of the range of the madness.
I was aware that it was the madness, right?
I think it's been said. Yeah.
It was explained.
Yes.
It was explained to him. Yeah, I remember specifically.
Because I think he was
Quartz or
trying to
somebody telling him.
convince Curse
Yeah.
about it as well,
Yeah.
and Ruin too. So he'll probably not cause problems at all.
I mean, he's probably going to be upset. His friend's head is still ripped off,
You
but
guys watched him
they come
butcher
back.
flesh one time just for fun.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah, he thought it was fun. So,
Yeah.
well, Maki-e doesn't know this.
And I think
Didn't
he
really
was
think he'd
fine
have a
with.
problem with it. but-
Yeah, he was fine with flesh. So.
I mean, he's
he
probably-
also did kind of help me with Ruin, but we were using that as to see if it would help with the madness, not just this is the middle of a battle frenzy and rip her head off kind of thing.
Sometimes you gotta rip somebody's head off, you know?
But they're good.
So we think we're outside of the zone. Lucero is offering to cast a spell that will help us rest better or something.
Lucero's going to tell those that want to get comfy.
All right.
Myrkrið gives you a bit of a suspicious look, but then like sits cross-legged.
Are you sitting
Oh, you're going to do
down?
it too?
Are you
Yeah.
casting a spell or are you giving us one of those vials?
Casting a spell.
you
Less
sitting-
resources.
Sitting down or standing up when you tell us to get comfortable?
I'm standing up. I
Oh,
can't. I don't need a rest right now.
Maki-e finds a place to curl up in a ball.
So there's 4 of y'all.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so I need to do it at fourth level, which is fine. I have it prepared, so I don't have to do the Mesium.
I think Quartz will not need a rest, so she should be fine. She's not gonna.
Okay.
So now there's only stuff up.
All right. So you're casting Catnap. Tell us what it does.
If the creatures are willing, it allows you to take an hour-long rest in 10 minutes. So the effects of a short rest.
Okay.
But you do have to. It is basically you do fall unconscious. You do sleep for 10 minutes.
All right.
Oh.
Now, I know some people have already said they're going to abstain, but assuming everyone decided to take part in this, you would all be unconscious for 10 minutes. So just keep that in mind.
If you're willing, you don't have to
Whoops.
make a save.
No, that was for a different reason. Are you targeting
Lucero
yourself with
can't
this
do
too?
it to themselves because they would end as soon as they went to sleep.
Oh, it's not.
It's not a
You don't
concentration.
maintain concentration
spell.
on it, so you could do it to yourself.
Oh, is it? Oh, interesting. I didn't really realize that.
Yeah. Luce wouldn't.
But if
want
you're
to,
not
though.
doing it to yourself, then you can use a third level.
Yeah.
Because it's only Myrkrið. So
I will switch it for a third level slot instead.
Okay. So who all's being targeted by this?
Flo,
Maki-e?
Maki-e, and Myrkrið.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really need it.
All right.
Does Hands want it? I don't know.
I mean, Hands is pretty hurt.
Or Melora.
Oh yeah,
So is Melora.
'cause I did it
I
up to
believe.
4th. I could also do it at higher level and add more people.
Here, let me fix something on Melora so you can kind of see your condition a little bit better. Here. This, I think.
If she's willing, if both of them are willing, I don't mind doing up to a 5th level.
I mean, they'd be willing, sure. They're both not feeling so great. I mean, Melora was like thrown off a cliff and all that stuff. So,
baby.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to turn down healing if you're offering.
Yeah.
You don't have to offer.
I mean,
okay.
they're part of the team,
Yeah,
so
yeah. So short rest for all those participating. That means hit dice. That means all that fun stuff. Let's see here, Melora. What were your hit dice again? Boop-a-doop-a-boop. Okay. Hit dice 1d8. All right. I think we're going to roll quite a few of those. Let me just mark it on your inventory.
while they're napping, Luce is gonna bring out their decanter of coffee and offer it to Quartz and Candor.
Okay.
Quartz will take some. You never really did seem to care for this stuff, but I thought I'd offer anyway since we gotta wait about 10 minutes.
Yeah, nice.
Lucero,
Hmm?
do you know what happened to those vials that person was holding onto?
I think Maki-e still got a hold of them right now.
Well, do you trust your wife, or should we hold on to them?
I'll see if I can talk her to disseminate them once she wakes up, but trying to lift from her is not a smart idea. And they get like this 1,000-yard stare as they say that.
Well, would she know?
Eventually.
Oh, so she's already looked inside the bag.
I don't know, but I did specifically ask her to grab vials, so I assume she at least has some idea of what is in there.
Okay. Well, separate question. What do you think How do you think the group is going so far? I feel like I'm constantly having to keep them from killing each other.
Accurate.
Any ideas how to fix that?
Well, in the sun, they just like to battle it out, but as we can see here, that's not exactly the best idea.
Well, I think without this madness, they wouldn't have battled it out in the first place. We're not exactly sure who's
Lucero, like, looks over at Myrkrið like, are you sure?
Well, at the very least, Cursed wouldn't have started the fight. She attacked Myrkrið first.
I didn't realize that. We were
This one wasn't his fault. This one wasn't his fault, but he is very easily agitated.
That's putting it nicely. You seem to be coming around to him.
We are in an alliance. That was his wish. Candor, how are you doing?
Normal.
Poor sex audio, man. I'm sorry. You're having to deal with that.
Can I insight check that normal?
Yes. Candor, you may roll GM only if you like, so that they don't see what you roll, and I'll just... Oh, buddy.
No, that's actually a 25.
Okay. All right. So you heard him. Do you have advantage, Quartz, by chance?
I don't think so, unless... Let me double check I think the feast is only for saves, but let me double check.
Correct.
I want to do it so bad, but Lucero promised.
Yeah, so he seems pretty convincing.
Okay, well, what is your take on this, Candor? The group dynamic.
It seems pretty normal. I mean, this has been going on for a while, hasn't it? Myrkrið, causing trouble and getting a...
Well, we keep adding more people. This Melora, we don't really know anything about her, but we might need her. And isn't Melora the name of that person who was on your note?
Yes.
Her eye.
I think so, but they definitely don't look like any sort of angel.
Do you think we should ask her about it?
We could try.
What were you gonna say, Ramblin'?
I was gonna say if she's nearby, if she could hear the discussion, her eyes would dart up when she hears you talking about a note.
She's in magically induced sleep right now.
Oh, that's
unless
right.
This is 10 minutes.
You're right. My bad.
We didn't get the name Melora.
I think she probably said it at some point.
Right?
Yeah, it's in the very beginning.
I thought we were all still under the assumption she was called Lucero or whatever.
I thought Cursed had said it at one point.
She might have, yeah. I remember
because we had found out about it before we got to Melora.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were just like, oh, this is the person.
One of them mentioned that she didn't like being called that name, I think, and then somebody asked what she liked being called, I think is what happened.
Yeah.
That does sound familiar. Yeah.
Okay. So All right, so you've got that information. What do you continue?
Once we wake up, or once they wake up, and once we get far enough for this madness to stop, what do you think our plan should be? We're still going to that city? Is that right?
At least.
Seems like it.
Candor, is this where we were supposed to have gone? I remember you told me not to ask any questions, but
no, we're not really going there anymore at the moment.
So we've forgotten whatever plan you had?
Well, we've kind of gone off track.
Okay.
What plan?
Well, you guys had some sort of plan. You told me not to ask about it. Trusted you.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one's gone way off track. No, this is not in our wildest imaginings where we thought we'd end up.
Yeah. That's a very interesting place. Especially with people being able to regrow themselves and come back from the dead.
What do you think of this place, Quartz?
I mean, this place is definitely crazy. That's for sure, but interesting. At least you can't say it's boring.
No, it's certainly not that. What would you think if we got stuck here?
Well, I haven't exactly. Do you have access to a teleportation circle, Lucero? We haven't exactly tried going back.
But if they can't leave, what's the possibility of going there?
I forget. Sorry, out of character. How did we find out that we can't leave?
So what she's talking about is the people.
Nurnum in the other Bodhisattva's.
Yeah, the people, they can't leave heaven. Remember?
Right, but how did we find out?
Yeah, it was Nurnum.
He told us.
It was Nurnum. Told you.
Okay.
That was part of the choices of things to go investigate when you guys chose to investigate the 23rd district. The 23rd district. Nurnum was saying that they'll try to basically like gather the Bodhisattva, find out what's going on with the wheel, to try to fix it, and to find out why people can't leave heaven, like what's happened.
Was Quartz not there for that conversation? Because she didn't know about the 23rd district.
You were in the bedroom with Rifa.
Okay, so I can't recall if I remember it or not, if I know it or not.
I think Rifa would probably have told you about the not being able to leave part at least.
Yeah. I think you found out about the 23rd district at some point because, you guys went and opened the door and that's when your mind went blank.
No, we managed to keep Quartz in the dark about that because we didn't.
They never told me what the plan was. They said don't ask questions, and I didn't. That's
right, because talking about
we kept dancing around it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I tried to tell
him.
You're the only one it doesn't hurt.
Well, okay. So back to in character. Well, if they told us that they couldn't leave, but did they tell us that we couldn't come in?
Well, if you can't leave, it's hard to test if you can go the other way.
That's not necessarily true. We could always, it doesn't mean that we can't go through one way and not the other.
usually we can't leave, though. Only they can. So only they can tell if you can come or go. If they can't leave, they can't test to see if they can come. You see what I'm saying? The fact that we can leave at all.
Lucero, make a history check.
History.
Okay. So yeah, you're kind of onto something here. Just a little background information for you. So yeah, you're right. The bodhisattvas usually leave. Not only do they usually leave, they usually like don't stay in heaven. Like they don't typically manage affairs in heaven unless something gets really out of hand. You know, then it's like all hands on deck kind of situation. Usually their job is to represent the Arcana's will on Earth. The reason they're like considered saints is because they forgo paradise to keep working, basically. That's part of the reason they have a higher station. Is because they're like giving up something. The other thing is, yeah, you're right. Like most people who like your average people in heaven don't leave. They can't leave, but also like they don't want to leave. Typically, like why would you want to leave like paradise, like all the coolest people here or whatever, right? But there are some stories of a long time ago, like nobody in any recent history. There are some stories a long time ago of like some really great enlightened souls leaving heaven to do some other works after a long stay in heaven. One was named Emperor Fei. He was a great warrior, follower of, you guessed it, the Emperor. Led an army, was so righteous that he wielded a hammer against an army of demons, and just it being used in his hand gave the weapon like a holy aura. It's now a magical relic, a legendary weapon that's probably somewhere in the world still.
But with the higher roll that I've got, Luce would know it was they left by the Arcana's will. They didn't just leave.
Yeah,
right?
it's not like the Arcana did, like he was clearly given permission to leave. It wasn't like he left against the Arcana's will or anything like that.
It's not like what this group has clearly done. It is like there's been an oopsie somewhere.
Oh yeah. Or an Arcana wanted them to leave.
Yeah. Well, we don't remember, so.
Lucero.
So we don't know why we're gone.
Lucero, what if the rules have changed? The Bodhisattva are the only ones who could come and go, but now they're stuck. But for some reason, we were able to go. Just because we haven't been able to do it in the past doesn't mean we can't try to go back now.
Lucero, make an Arcana check. Okay. Yes, what Quartz is saying could be possible. However, thinking about it, it's just as likely. Remember, there was another change in heaven right before you all left. People suddenly could die in heaven, and that wasn't possible before. What happens to people when they die? Lucero.
They go back to the wheel.
Part of them does. Every person has two souls, a body soul and a spirit soul. What happens if a bad person dies? Where do you think they go once they're filtered through the wheel? What if they're too bad to come back to be reincarnated? Or just part of them is? There's a place.
The abyss?
The void, yeah. It's possible, just as likely, that you all were killed. And now you're wandering this place. That silence hit hard enough for you guys?
Quartz would entertain that if there was a few party members that got left out. If a few people didn't show up. Luce knows there's a few people who have been too faithful to end up down here.
You've been around a long time, Lucero. You've heard of wandering spirits with memory issues, not remembering what happened to them exactly.
Luce would look at the entire motley crew they've picked up when they remember that.
Well, I mean, I guess there was only an idea of how to get back. Speaking of getting back, your wife, you guys got back together. How did she get down here? Did she follow us?
Considering I don't know how we got here, I would assume so.
How long has she been following us? Since the party?
Potentially before, depending on who she's after.
Well, you said she's been after us. And she says she's hunting down what does she say? A mole or something, someone she can't trust?
There's... Yeah. We want to wait until Ferdy comes back? There they are.
We could continue, sorry.
With everything going on, the Maki-e is one of the in life and after death. Maki-e has been one of the most faithful people I have ever met. If any of the Arcana can entrust anything to anybody, it would be her. With the upsets that are going on, and with what happened with the old death, among us older people, at least, they believe there are traitors in our midst.
Well, do you believe there's a traitor in our midst?
In this group? I would like to believe not.
I mean, that answer wasn't necessarily a no. How about you, Candor? Are there
There's
any
two
traitors in the group?
I can't 100% vouch for. Our two newest members.
I'm about to say I don't know everybody, so yeah.
I think the youngling is just brash. And I don't think Myrkrið truthfully knows anything. I honestly don't believe either of them are. But can I say for 100% certainty? Unfortunately, no. Will I ever say this in front of Maki-e? Again, no. We have
Why
enough
not?
tensions in this. We have enough tensions in this group.
But you do trust Maki-e.
Of course. She's the reason I'm here.
Here is in the void.
In heaven.
What does that mean? Exactly. What did she do? What's the reason? She sits up and perks up for the story.
I've never been the devoted type. Honestly, thought the Arcana were a little stuck up. Overly done. Even back then. Before our death, Maki-e got me to at least serve them a little bit. Seems it did some good, at least.
How did she do that? Change your mind.
You do a lot of things for love.
Well, if you've been in love with Maki-e for so long, why is this just now the first time I'm hearing about her?
They kind of smile at that. Because of the Arcana she serves.
Candor, did you know about her?
No.
Did you tell anyone about her?
Nope. And as far as I'm aware of, she never told anybody about me.
So you guys were just separated this whole time?
Oh no. We met as frequently as our duties would allow. Sometimes a bit more than Candor would have appreciated, but that's what having buddies in the office is for. And they just grin at Candor.
So that's what you were doing. Yeah. I was working while you were out there.
That's a great way to cut off.
That was awesome.
Oh. Hey, it's better than just lazing around, right?
No.
Oh, poor Candor. Yes, Quartz?
Nothing. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. Just, trying to imagine it. There's a lot of interesting scenarios going through my head right now. Don't worry about it.
I'm still surprised you haven't asked that question, though.
Which question is that? If you already know the question, you can answer it yourself.
Which Arcana she serves.
Oh, I have a few guesses.
Oh?
Yeah. For someone so mysterious, it must be the moon.
You're correct. If we're
And
looking for moles, there's no point in lying at this point. So she would beat me if she found out that I gave it so easy.
is it a safe relationship for you? It seems like she beats you up a lot.
We have our moments, but it's a fine relationship.
I mean, it must be if it's lasted for so long. How long have you guys been together?
Over 10,000 years.
And she's older than you or younger than you?
I'm older by a little bit.
A couple 100 years?
Oh no. Changelings don't live quite that long. Just a few years.
When are the rest of the crew gonna start waking up? I feel like we're taking up a lot of time.
No, you're fine.
It was only supposed to be a 10-minute spell.
I'm actually really enjoying the conversation. Lucero, can you make one religion check for me?
This is not going to be as good as the others.
I think it's funny you guys only question Lucero about it whenever Maki-e is unconscious or not around.
Because it's safe.
Okay.
It's safe.
Lucero, I'm glad you finally broke 20 on one of these rolls, because I'm just going to be honest. I haven't been telling you everything on those other rolls. They were decent rolls. With a plus 14, I expected better than a 17. I'm sorry. Okay. So
that means I only rolled a 3.
Here's the thing. So while you've been having this conversation, you've sort of been mulling over the stuff I was telling you in the back of your head, like thinking it through. Is it just as likely, like you're thinking over all the stuff that was going on in heaven? Like, is the wheel broken? Like, what would be the effects of that? Could it cause people who die in heaven to get sent to the void? Could we have died? And yes, these things are possible. However, the group of you don't seem like wandering spirits. You seem, if anything, more real than the things here in the void, if that makes any sense. Like I said before, most of them are almost lacking in color, whereas you all are abundant in it. You're bright, not just in like heavenly garb or like giving off light with your spells, but you're also like more saturated. You have noticed that this light that these things drink, that you've been drinking since you've been down here, does fill you with a certain sense of life itself, it would seem. The memories, maybe it has something to do with the particular kind of light you've been imbibing. You go, Myrkrið. But it's probably more likely that you didn't die in heaven, but because you seem to still be alive, you were probably brought here by some other means.
Hey, Quartz.
Yeah?
How do you feel about entertaining the idea of bringing some of them with us?
Some of them being the ones from the here?
Yeah. How do you feel about bringing them back?
Well,
do you think it would be possible?
It all depends if that's what they want. For all you know, they want to stay here. But I wouldn't be opposed to it, assuming we can find a way to get back. Why? What are you thinking?
whatever's going on, we need fighters.
So you're thinking we recruit people to bring back to heaven?
No, I'm not saying just bring anybody. There's no way the fountain would. I mean, think about it. The fountain destroys people who don't belong. But maybe there's some way we can figure out a way to protect a small group.
Well, we do know the fountain has been going awry recently. There are, according to Myrkrið, things that are showing up that aren't supposed to.
People aren't supposed to die either, and we've had death in heaven.
With your previous roles, it might occur to you that you could cleanse these souls. You could enlighten them. Like, the corruption is visible on them, right? You can see it in their horns, maybe. I mean, I'm not being racist against Candor here, but they do look a lot more demonic than Candor does.
Yeah.
Even like Melora. Like, if there was a way to sort of purge that, help them somehow reach enlightenment, like, theoretically, you could totally bring them to heaven if only enlightened souls can enter. Now, the odds of being able to do that, like, in a short amount of time are incredibly slim. I mean, especially considered how sinful, corrupted, unenlightened they seem to be.
How do you propose we bring them there then, Lucero?
Usually enlightenment's only the way to go, but we are strapped for time.
Well, didn't you say Maki-e helped you out with that a long time ago?
Yes, but this was still over years. This wasn't days, weeks, hours. I have a feeling we're trying to stop a war, and not a war of attrition.
You might be right. If there's only so much our group can do.
But that doesn't mean we can't try with them. I haven't taught Bladesong in a long time. I'd like to try with flesh.
Do you think that will help with enlightenment?
I don't know. But they don't seem to have any battle experience at all anyways. Either way, it would feel wrong if we just left and I have the ability to teach and not teach her anything.
Well,
that is if she's interested.
Why don't you work on flesh? I say right now, we need to learn more about them. We don't know anything about Melora. We don't know anything about Cursed, other than apparently she knew we were coming So you work on them, I'll work on Melora. It seems to me that she may have some answers that we need.
We also need to figure out how to blend into the city. We stick out like sore thumbs. We're too...
One problem at a time.
Well, I say blending in is probably top of the priority list. We're too bright.
Well, we don't know where the city is or how far we are from there. We need to focus on staying alive for the most part and keeping our group together. Seeing how we basically almost lost a bunch of them with them fighting each other.
True. Can I try something with my changeling ability?
Okay.
Can I try to shift my saturation?
Ooh, like like try to change
Lucero makes himself more gray.
Yeah, to try to make yourself look more gray. That's a great idea. Yeah, you can. What sounds like a fair role here? Like stealth, maybe, or performance? I suppose you could argue that maybe nature could apply, or deception. What do you think?
What do you guys think?
Wisdom for self-awareness. Because Maki-e knows how bad Lucero is at
I would say
changing
performance
form.
would be the closest.
The performance?
Yeah, I mean, I can see performance like almost like an actor putting on a costume, right? Or like yeah, okay. I can see performance. Okay. All right, 14. So it does seem to help a bit, right? Like you can make yourself look gray. And do you change your attire when you change form?
No. So unfortunately the clothes would still be bright.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. Is you're still wearing these like loud clothes. Like, I don't know. I imagine the human form of Lucero wearing like golds and royal blues and stuff. Maybe you
Yeah,
imagine
because of the sun.
Yeah. So maybe that's the problem. Is the clothes still the attire? Maybe you wear armor, right? The armor.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Well, it's just leather armor, but
Okay,
it's like mixed into the robes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, whatever it is, it still sticks out like a sore thumb.
They would look mildly satisfied though, because it's like clothes can be changed. Clothes can be fixed.
True. So who was playing hands? Was it you, Kyo?
Yeah.
Did you short rest hands?
I think so.
I just was wondering
because
health.
Oh, you mean like his
Hit
health? No, I haven't done that. No, I haven't done that.
His hit die should be marked on his sheet. If it's not, let me know. I should be able to get them for you. But he'd be probably bard hit die or rogue hit die rules, I would think.
Let me see. So it's a D8 basically.
Yeah, it should say on his
have a
sheet.
small die.
It should say on his sheet. Let me check his sheet.
Oh, I see. 11 out of 15 hit dice.
Okay, so it should be 16 because he's level 16 now. But yeah, it should say what the die is. Maybe up near the top where his HP is. if it doesn't say there? Like if it's a D8, if it's a D6, or whatever.
It says hit points 84 and then 13d8 plus 26.
So it's a D8.
And I thought I had a low HP pool.
What was the voice mod somebody had on there? Who was that? Was that Wolfrin? Here's a voice. Who said?
It might have been. I think maybe I.
Did you say it's a
hit my,
D8?
keep
Was
my
that
note
you?
next to it. Yeah, so it's a D8.
Yeah.
What was the
That
voice?
was
Was it Dragon?
Terrifying.
Yeah, it was like super deep, super deep voice.
Whoops. Yeah, it should be a D8. Also, if it says 13d8, shouldn't it be 16d8?
Yeah, he's leveled up since then. Yeah, he's leveled up. He's leveled up since then, I think.
Like he got his HP for those levels.
Yeah, he should have. Yeah, he should have gotten HP. Has his HP changed?
I don't know what it was before I started using them.
Yeah. Okay. Let me check. Let me check his sheet. Hello, World 20? Here we go. Hands stained with blood. Actually, his original roll may have been different because he just said 13d8 plus 26. I don't know. He was based off a. No, he was based off a. Was it a
Rogue?
sidekick? A sidekick character? I think?
Because
Okay.
26
Yeah.
would be the level 13, so that
Yeah.
should be a 16 times whatever. I'm guessing 2.
Yeah, 16 plus his con mod is
So it should
2.
be
So
32.
plus 6, I think it should be like 32. 16 d8 plus 32. I tell you what, just roll it. And this
It
is
didn't change the hit points though.
Hey.
It's still
you go.
84.
his max HP is going to be 105. It's actually a pretty good roll. We're just going to do.
Yay! I don't have the tiniest HP pool in the party anymore.
So here, I'll change it on his token. Okay, so from now on, just level it up as he levels up, like you would a character. Let me. And I know I probably missed a level or something along those lines whenever I had him. Let me take a look here. It doesn't say. Yeah, I guess it would be D8. You should have 16.
Jesus.
Myrkrið, what the hell? What are you doing?
That was for Ruin, because he's
Ruin.
got the same issue.
Oh, okay. God damn,
I just
really?
did the same thing you did.
That's fucking bonkers if he has like 200
He's a
HP.
fighter.
Golly, dude. That's freaking nuts, man. Okay,
He's got a
yeah.
20 con.
He already
He
had
literally
like 100
has
he already had like
times and a half
160 or
my
something.
HP.
Yeah, he already had a lot of HP, I think.
Yeah, he only gained 4 or 8 from that. He was
Yeah.
close.
Okay. All right, so now that we got hit points settled, feel free to spend hit die for hands, and
How do you roll for the hit die? I don't see it.
it's not built into the sheet. You have to
Just
do it manually.
Slash roll or 1d8, whatever.
Yeah.
And 1d8 plus 2 each time.
What I usually do is slash roll 1d8 plus 2, and then before I hit enter, I copy it and I just paste it over and over again.
You can also do it in the dice roller tool that's built in.
Yeah, could do that. Okay.
Are the people waking up?
Yeah, they wake up.
Yeah.
They should be by now.
Definitely. Hands.
Lucero, what happened to you? You forget how you normally look.
I'm trying things.
Why?
So we don't stick out as much. Maki-e, dear, do you still have that that pouch of vials that you got from Cursed?
Why?
I would like you to pass them out to everybody.
Myrkrið,
Are they all addicted?
Myrkrið, make a Constitution save.
They're like healing potions, dear.
I have
Me and
normal healing potions, so you can drink those. They're not addictive.
Me and Quartz and the young changeling can't get our spells back without them.
What?
Magic doesn't work properly down here. A night's rest
Well,
doesn't give us our spells back.
Why are you withholding resources from the party?
She's a mother.
You have kids?
Many.
What?
What do you mean, what?
We got quite old before we died.
Well, my passive insight is 20, so I was gonna roll to see if I believe Lucero, but with the passive insight that high, I don't think it matters.
Lucero's not lying. They don't get
Yeah.
they don't get smells and everything without it.
Yeah, she will sigh and look in the bag and hand over the one that has 3 out of 5 uses remaining.
All right.
Hand them over.
I'd
She'll
be
hand-
nice to her.
She'll hand the one to you.
They try to sip it immediately. I badly need this.
All right. Mark off a use, and give yourself the benefits of a long rest.
So 2 out of 5 remaining now.
Yeah.
Does it also remove exhaustion?
It does. Yeah,
You should have gotten that from the short rest, I think.
I
No,
think
it's long
yeah.
rest.
a
No,
long
No,
rest.
it's long rest.
It does also remove the exhaustion. Is this
Yay.
still one of the golden light ones? Because you guys harvest some fire.
I think that's all Cursed had on hers.
All right.
We've only had golden light ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, may
So
I
I
have
need-
one to keep on me?
I guess I need to put in my notes specifically golden light.
Yeah.
Maki-e, why are you keeping them all for yourself?
I don't want them.
Then
But what happens when you drink them all and then you're having what were they called?
Withdrawals?
Yeah, when you get addicted.
Diviners, what's the perfect memory that comes rushing to the surface when you imbibe?
In heaven? Is it about heaven or like their prior life?
Up to you.
They see their grandpa mining, and then their grandpa like harvested a good fortune item. What was it called? Like a good omen or lucky charm. I forgot what it's called. The one that gives you +1 to everything.
Let me see.
Oh, a stone of good luck or whatever.
Yeah, that one. Stone of good luck. That's what they remembered.
Yeah, okay. And it's like you're there. I mean, you can smell the fresh turned earth. You can, when you reach out to like touch it as your grandpa holds it out, you can feel the warmth in his hand. You can feel the dirt on his hands. You can feel the excitement in your chest as your heart is racing. All of that comes flooding to the surface. It's like you relive that moment again. And then it's gone.
So Lucero asked for one, and then Quartz asked why Maki-e is not handing them out. Yeah. Maki-e is going to look directly at Lucero and say, "How many times have you taken this since the last time you slept?"
Twice?
And you already want more?
No, I'd like to put it in my bag for in case I need it.
Fine, but I'm taking it away from you if it seems like you're getting addicted. And she'll hand one to Quartz and one to Lucero.
Golden light vial.
Those two are full. But she has one of the vials left.
Okay.
Because she gave the other one that was used to Abe Flo.
All right. Are you all also
Did
going
hens
to
sleep?
use...
Sorry.
What was the question?
I was asking if Hans slept the 10-minute spell.
He did.
And Hans is probably waking up.
I saw that some dice were rolled, but his HP doesn't seem to have changed for some reason.
It didn't change.
Is the token desynced from the sheet?
Shouldn't be. No, it's not.
I thought we add them up. Okay.
I would like to catch his eye. I assume we were not like too far away from each other or anything.
Yeah, okay, you can catch his attention, sure. He's like looking over his weapon, and he looks up and sees you eyeing him, and then he like slides the weapon back, and we hear like a shotgun pump sound, and then like the squeal of a small insect inside of a like a glass enclosed jar, so it's kind of muffled. And then he says, "What?"
You mentioned a master back there. Some sort of thing. Who was it?
Yeah, he kind of like looks around almost to see if maybe somebody he doesn't realize is hiding in the shadows listening. And when he kind of like seems satisfied, he says, "Yeah, Demogorgon, Prince."
What do you know about him?
Or what can you tell us about him?
I can tell he's best to be avoided, and that Faithless Sorrow here seems to have angered him somehow.
Prince of what?
He says Faithless Sorrow seemed to have angered him somehow.
No, you were starting to say Prince of before.
Oh, yeah.
Lucero said something.
Prince of Demons, the Sibilant Beast, Master of Spiraling Depths, Prince of Madness, they call him, Prince of Destruction. Those are his domains.
Tell me everything you know about him.
To interrupt your conversation, but can we walk and talk? We're still a little close to where we were.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if nobody wants to continue to rest, yeah, you can sure.
Wait, give me a few minutes. I'm tinkering
Myrkrið
something.
doesn't get up.
One sec. So clearly it's gone wrong with Melora, but it does seem he can be bargained with, yes?
Can be, sure, but he's very powerful, and bargaining with him, well, that's what got us here in the first place. They call him the Prince of Madness for a reason, yeah. He's not always the most logical.
Prince of Madness or Prince of Demons, which is it?
Both.
Can be both.
What was your bargain?
He he kind of smiles and he holds up the gun in his lap.
What'd you give for it?
And what did you pay?
Everything. I mean, if it wasn't for this gun, I'd still be stuck fighting in the pits, and
So I take it this and Lucille fiddle with Ruin's axe that's on their back was what Ruin bargained for.
yeah, he nods.
We were talking about a pit.
Yeah, he nods. He says, everyone in the city belongs to someone. I found a better master, a better job, a higher position, always working to claw your way up.
What's the pit?
Well, the fighting pits, of course.
They look over at Myrkrið.
I'm interested in that. What more can you tell me about Demogorgon?
He's known to take different forms. Never seen him face to face. Doubt I'd want to. I understand his influence is contagious.
How did you make a deal with him?
Well, through whispers in the mind.
Do you just call out to him?
I suppose one could see it that way, yes. It works best within the city's limits, closer to his citadel, you see.
City we're heading to.
He nods. He says, well, yes, all the princes have their own places.
What other ones are there?
He says quite a few. Most do try to keep their true names, even contacts, secret, but he says, let me pull up a thingy-mabob I may have. He says there's Bure, the rotting shepherd. I think pestilence with that one. Disease. Carrion. There's I can't remember his name. If I ever heard it. The Infernal Artificer. See, now that the fires are burning hot, there's forges springing up all over the city. And the Infernal Artificer is in charge of machines, building infernal machines, warforged hordes. There's Lilith, the succubus sovereign, domain of seduction, deception. He nods towards Cursed's body. And he says, I think she has original ties there.
As he nods towards the body, Myrkrið is standing there, and like digs into the belly and starts tearing it open.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't like look away or wince or anything.
Myrkrið, could you be any more distasteful right now? We're trying to talk.
He says, there's, was it, Baphomet, I think? Labyrinths, beasts are its thing. There's the...
What was that?
Baphomet. Domain of labyrinths and savage beasts. He says, there's one they call the Fallen Star, host of corruption, the bringing down, twisting one over to another's servitude, perhaps, bringing one down to their own level.
That catches Lucero's attention.
Yeah, he says, there's the gesture of torment, Maki-e being their chief domain. There's the shadow broker, secrets, espionage. And then he says, his eyes dart towards Cursed again when he says this. And he says, then there's the Black Serpent, domain of fear, venom, darkness.
Does Melora react to any of these names?
Not really. Until actually making an insight check.
Insight. That's what
I would like to on hands.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll let Quartz go first.
All right. Hands. I don't think hands. I don't
Quartz
think
first with Melora.
Oh, okay. So you're inciting Melora, right? Okay. Melora, let's see here. Let's see. I don't know if she'd really be trying to hide it. I mean, she might, I suppose. Why is her stuff being all weird? Did her sheet disappear? What the fuck? I can't access her sheet now for some reason. Oh, that's because I'm on the audience view. I'm such an idiot, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sleep deprived. Okay?
Dun, dun, dun.
Give me a break. Give me a break. I was looking at the wrong tab. Okay.
He needs a nap.
I'll give her a. I guess it's technically deception, but we're just gonna give her a charisma. She doesn't have a deception skill. Okay. So meets it, beats it, Quartz. So you both succeed. Okay. So he mentions another one named. He doesn't know the name, but it's called the Deep One, I think. Yeah, the Deep One. And he says, domain is dark oceans, sea creatures, I think. And you see her eyes kind of like dart up and look around just to see if anyone looks at her. She doesn't notice you looking, though. Actually, I take that back. I'll have her roll perception to see if she notices anyone. No, she doesn't. Okay. I mean, he might go on to say a few others. He mentions a hellish scholar known for like forbidden knowledge and arcane lore, like magical secrets, like dark magics and stuff like that. There's one for, let's see here. I think, actually, there's one they mentioned called the Leviathan. And I think maybe that's it. Oh, I'm sorry. There's another one. This one's kind of important. His name's funny. Barbados, the Time Warden. Domain of temporal distortion. Portals. Funny name, Barbados. It's not spelled like the country or whatever. And he says, but you want to know about Prince of Madness. Why? Myrkrið?
Sorry, I'm cutting.
You what?
So I would, at this point, having done the flavor, I would like to use my, what's it called? Memory and Flesh ability, and see what information I can learn about Demogorgon.
Okay. Can you link the ability? Hell yeah, what's for sure? You're just gonna place your object. Spell brings to your mind a brief summary of significant lore about the thing you named. The lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. Oh God. Okay,
The more information you know, the more you get. That's why I was asking.
Okay, so Demogorgon, super insane, oddly powerful prince of the void. Let's see here. It's so driven by madness that it doesn't even, when it makes appearances, when it has like breached into the physical realm, the stuff it does doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even seem to pursue goals. It just literally spreads madness. It has people doing insane things. Even sometimes things that might seem to be to its own detriment. It's said that the bulk of its palace would extend underwater, and it's known to go through darkened caverns. Its form is that of a... it seeks to corrupt all that is good, undermine order in the multiverse, and to see everything dragged howling into the infinite depths of the abyss. It's a meld of different forms with a saurian lower body. I think, I'm not sure what that means. I'll look up the definition for saurian here. I think it means
it's like a lizard or...
Yeah. Yeah, like a lizard.
Sort of.
It has clawed, webbed feet, suckered tentacles sprouting from the shoulders, of an ape-like torso, 2 hideous heads, each with an individual name. You would get the name too. Amiel and Hathradaya. Both are equally mad. Their gaze brings madness and confusion to any who would confront it. Do what?
What came before the Saurian body? My internet cut out right as you.
It's a meld of different forms. So basically, it's almost like a hodgepodge of different like animals. So lizard, lower body, clawed, webbed feet, sucker tentacles, and the sprouting.
Chimera-like.
Yeah, like chimera-like is a very good description. Yeah. The other thing I said before that was that it's the embodiment of chaos, madness, and destruction. It seeks to corrupt all that is good and undermine order in the multiverse. It seeks to see everything dragged howling into the infinite depths of the abyss, is what it says. That would be the void in our setting, obviously.
Any it's got 2 heads.
Let me see here. Forgotten Stories, secret lore that has never been widely known. So because you would know a lot of stuff about this guy from this ability, you would also know that there's... Don't ask me how you know this. Maybe Tulpa is telling you somehow. There's a very old story that the Demogorgon, long time ago, in a fight with Heaven, somehow stole or got possession of a key that would lead to heaven, a way in. Now, if the story goes, if he was ever to figure out how to use it, like heaven would be destroyed. If he was even just to enter, to get close to the fountain, it would corrupt it all. It would drive heaven into a state of madness, and it would just like basically end the universe kind of thing. But because he's so insane, he either never tried to use it or never figured it out, or he lost it. Nobody really knows. But the story is that the key was in his possession at some point.
The question is, do the rest of us get told this story?
So I did a bunch of prep flavor, but I don't know what it looks like, how it tells me all this. I kind of imagined that dripping this corrupted blood into this mess would produce some sort of visible effect.
Yeah, so how are you going about doing this? Like, what's the process you're going through to use this ability? You mentioned dripping blood. Like, are you like dripping blood into a pool and like trying to scry from it? Maybe?
Oh yeah, I put it in the chat. So I took the intestines, I ripped them up into many pieces. I squeezed out some of what was inside and like made a somewhat of a puddly mess in front of where he was sitting, and then I dripped blood into it.
Okay.
And I was hoping that it would sort of like animate the pieces in a way that we could see things.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like to share this information, but probably not a reason to.
Sure. I mean, you might even see like the blood, basically like rise up off the ground in the shape of this creature, and then maybe like turn around. And maybe you would even hear like Tulpa's voice in your head while you're watching this happen. Kind of like telling you the gist of this information as he's pulling it from his like web of his like network of experiences and consciousness. And yeah, there might even be a part where like the image of the Demogorgon itself is like turning around and holds up a key in its hand. Yeah, that kind of thing. And it's quite an elegant looking key. I mean, the shape of it's all blood colored, right? But the shape of the key, like the design of it would look quite elegant. And yeah, I mean, there would be lots of weird poses for like the Demogorgon monster and stuff as you're like hearing all this information. You might even see like a depiction of like a battle between this creature and some entities of heaven or something, maybe some angels or the tower. I mean, the tower did strike down the Leviathan. Possibly it struck down this creature too at some points. It is heaven's war machine after all.
Would this bring up memories for Luce and Maki-e then?
I think the parts that mention heaven specifically probably would. Yeah, make a history check. Are you telling them this, Myrkrið, or are they just seeing?
So they can see the different figures and like things that's forming. He will answer questions if asked, but he probably doesn't like volunteer it.
Okay.
If people say that they ask questions, then yeah, they just know whatever he knows.
All right.
It's a good roll.
29
Net
history
20.
roll. Yeah. So, you probably even recognize the depiction from some ancient book. Maybe there's old drawing somewhere. Maybe you even recognize the key it's holding in its hand is like a mythical key, a key that's not supposed to exist. A famous key from like an old story, or like, a rumor you heard a long time ago. But surely such a thing would never have been created. I mean, it'd be a huge breach in security.
Like we've just had?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you probably would recognize, so like the depiction of the fight between this thing and like the tower. The tower takes the form of a immense great worm bronze dragon, great bronze worm. That's what I'm looking for. Bronze great worm.
There you go.
A dragon that is like a god of dragons. It's like many aspects of dragons across planes smashed into one creature. It takes up nearly the whole sky when it appears. It is enormous. It's it's very intimidating and violent. Vash found out the hard way a little bit. Yeah. And he used to be just a regular dragon, but he ascended to godhood and sort of died in doing so. Basically just not being a living thing, but being a force of nature, sort of force of the universe. So you might recognize a lot of that stuff for sure. With a crit, is there anything else that I didn't specify that you'd like to know? I mean, I can maybe answer.
You forgot to mention all of Demogorgon's weaknesses.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to do that, buddy.
Let's shot.
I don't think that would have been written down. I don't think they would have cared to.
I will say you'd get enough of an idea about, this creature's domain and what it seems to represent that you would know to expect the unexpected. That, madness is a bit unpredictable, isn't it?
I think Lucero has just grown to expect that with this group anyways.
That's perfectly sane, so you wouldn't know anything about it.
I will send you this just because I think it's funny. With your legend lore, I'm gonna send you one of its other regional effects that I think you might want to know.
Okay.
I just think it's funny. It might apply to you. Who knows?
Interesting.
From what is written in the history books, how likely would he be to give up the key or hand it over?
He's a beast of madness. You just
I
realized,
do also have the
that's a
sage
silly
background.
You do have what?
I have the sage background, which means if I don't know, I do know where I can find the information.
Yeah. Make a religion check. Hell yeah, Lucero.
Jesus.
Okay, so
The dice gods want us to know.
he's there is one of the demon princes that focuses on deals, and contracts and stuff like that. Let me check my list and see if I can find it. I might have skipped over that one. The Archduke of
Would
Contracts.
it have been the Fallen Star?
No, Fallen Star is all about like corruption of good things, making good things bad, basically. It's sort of so the Fallen Star is like a black hole, basically. It's the opposite of the star, where instead of inspiring hope, it tries to take good things and make them bad, kind of thing. This guy, the what did I call him? The
Archduke of Contracts.
The Archduke of Contracts. Their domain is pacts and binding oaths. So they are in charge of basically making deals with, powerful deals, and being able to enforce them. However, the Prince of Madness, while he does offer deals, he most often will just use them as a way of getting entertainment. For example, he's a lot more likely to be like, I'll give you the key if you do this thing, and then you do the thing and he just fucking punishes you for no reason.
Like he did to Melora.
Kills you.
Yeah.
Could the Duke of Contracts force the Demogorgon to do his part?
Now you're getting
with
somewhere.
my role.
Now you're getting somewhere. Now, theoretically, they're equally as powerful, right? So if it works the same way as the Arcana, they should keep each other in balance. So in theory, yes. Now the question is, why would the Archduke of Contracts help you? Right?
And take up arms against another demon.
So now we're getting into a three-way demon civil war, perhaps? So if you're going to go to the okay, I need you to enforce this deal that Demogorgon made, Prince of Madness made. Okay, well, I'll do that if you help me deal with this other prince, demon prince, right?
It could basically turn into a side quest.
It could turn into an endless
Oh no,
quest,
it's a chain quest.
That never ends.
Yeah.
They just keep sending you in circles because these are demons. They're gonna the Archduke of Contracts. If he makes an agreement with you, there's gonna be all kinds of fine print. There's gonna be all kinds of loopholes for him to get out of it if he wants to. It's gonna be totally in favor of him, right?
Right.
And he'll probably try to find some excuse to not honor.
He's
the deal
basically a
with you.
lawyer.
Yeah, he's he's a lawyer. Exactly. I was gonna say evil lawyer, but that's just redundant.
There are a few good ones, but unfortunately they are very, very outnumbered.
It's a lawyer joke. Oh, okay, all right.
Just for my
That's why I made
my
sure to
notes
point
here.
that out.
What was the first one's name? The Rotting Shepherd?
You didn't
Bear.
give a name because it was by...
It's spelled
How do you spell it?
B-U-E-R. Boer.
Okay. And then some of these, they don't have a proper first name. Like the Infernal Artificer, you didn't give a name for that one.
Or he just didn't know it.
Is that on purpose? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's, yeah.
Okay. With my role, would I potentially get the name for the scholar?
I might be able to give you
Because you
that.
didn't give that to us.
The Hellish Scholar.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how you spell it. Adramelech.
Thank you.
Yeah. also known to inhabit a part of the city called I know it's got taboo in the name. Let me check. Taboo something? Taboo Enclave.
Okay. I did do an insight check a while ago, and it was for hands.
Oh.
See if he was telling the
And
truth, I think.
no, I believe he's telling the truth.
Oh.
It was his eyes kept darting to
Yeah.
Cursed's body.
Yeah. So he looked at Cursed when he mentioned the prince
Lilith and another one.
Yeah, Lilith the seductress or whatever, the one of deception and seduction. And he said that she might have ties there, meaning like she might have come from that part of the city originally. Not necessarily that she serves Lilith or anything, but maybe that's where she's from. The other one was go ahead. What were you gonna say? Mori?
You hear me?
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
And then
He looked at her whenever he was mentioning like the secrecy and lies one.
Yeah. So the other one that he looked at her at was the Black Serpent is what it's called. And its domains were fear, venom, and darkness. And
I was hoping to maybe get a little on why.
Make a perception check.
Perception?
Yeah.
I do not have for that one.
Ooh.
balance in the universe.
The chaos plateau is real. So, yeah, you don't know why. So like the thing is when he looks over at her, he doesn't say anything for this part of it when he looks at her. Like the first time he says, thinks she was from there or something like that, basically. This time he just glances over in her direction, and when you look, Myrkrið is tearing apart her insides. So
Luce would probably remember this too. I do remember the dagger and it his status.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember that
when we were fighting.
Yeah, if you remember that, then you remember that. You could put two.
It's still on the body.
Yeah, it is still on the body.
I'm not gonna say anything though. So they're gonna look at hands and go, so can you do more than one, or are you only supposed to serve one at a time?
He kind of like he makes a face when you say that. Make an insight check.
Hey, I get advantage.
All right. So yeah, the face he
There we
makes
go.
is like the face he makes is like it's like he's talking to a child that doesn't know anything, you know? Like you ask the silliest question basically, like how could you not know? And he says
Luce's tone is just to point things out, it's like, I'm pretty sure you're only supposed to do one, but from the way he was talking about Cursed, we're double checking.
He says one, of course. Yeah. You can't have two masters.
Sure about that?
He nods.
You shouldn't have any masters.
He says what? Don't have masters where you come from?
Oh, we have them.
Yeah, he says everyone belongs to something or someone.
It looks disgusted.
Yeah, it's disgusting, yeah.
Some of us just don't view it that way.
Yeah, his eyebrow kind of raises, like he'd never considered it. Like he'd never heard of this not being owned by another powerful creature, scary thing.
Also, Kyo asked earlier, but is he still hearing Grandma?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It doesn't go away, right?
Yeah, it doesn't go away. Yeah, he's for sure. So there might be times where he's like, yeah, I just told him about that one when he's talking about the princes or something like that. Yeah, sorry, I should have been acting that out a little bit better, maybe.
So, when do we go and try and kill the Demogorgon?
Yeah, Hans laughs.
Myrkrið, when would you like to join them here?
Join us? No, that'd be way too good of a punishment if you're planning on trying to kill him.
He attacked us. We should hit back.
We will, eventually. But someone like this takes time. This is not we run in with no preparation.
Hans stands up and he says, wow. And he looks towards the pile of bodies, right? And he says, he's like, wow, I thought they got it bad, but it looks like you all got the worst of it.
Well, somebody started a war where we're from. Why can't we come here and start a war of our own?
Yeah, he shakes his head and he says, look, you don't want to know what they do if you really start to meddle in their business. You said people die where you come from? Oh, trust me, what they do to you, it's worse. Look, we got off lucky with the madness, okay? That was just a laugh, if anything.
Stop being a coward.
Mir, be nice. We need their help.
Yeah, they've been a lot of help.
What?
He said, yeah, they've been
sorry,
a lot
my
of
internet cut out. Yeah, they've been a lot of help.
He says,
they know this place. We don't.
He says, we could have left you, taken the vein, left you to the dark by yourself.
They know this place.
Let you wander around, find your own way.
Myrkrið does talk over him, though. If they know this place, why'd they walk us into a trap?
Walk you into a trap. What happened with her? Well, we didn't know. Of course we wouldn't, would we?
If they don't know, then what use are they?
He says, fine, you go on predicting the actions of the Prince of Madness then. You have fun with that.
No. Won't waste our time doing that. But the more sane ones we can.
Myrkrið looks over at Quartz. So what's next?
Well, first, Melora said that we need to escape the range of this madness. We probably would want to wait until Cursed comes back to life, and then we can recoup and make some sort of game plan. She was gonna lead us to the city, but obviously in their state, it'll be hard.
Out of character,
Cursed
someone
and
asked
Rune
Melora.
will probably
and Melora said
wake
that
up
they could do it
together.
too.
One person at a time, please. Wolfrin?
Yeah, out of character. I'm pretty sure someone asked Melora last session, and Melora said that she can lead us as well.
Yeah. What were you saying, Mori?
Just reminding that Cursed and Rune will probably wake up together.
Yeah, most likely.
Not 100% sure how that works, but they did die around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is that.
Quartz is gonna go to Melora, and she's gonna ask her straight up, Melora. It is Melora, right? We've heard that name before. There was someone trying to revive the fool. Was that you?
She's like sitting down. She's been quiet this whole time. She's been staring into a cup that she's carrying in her hands that's full of water. Yeah, she looks up and she says, why? Did it work? Where is he?
About that, we got the request, right, Candor?
Yeah.
He's the one who got it, you see.
Okay. Got what?
The prayer request?
She makes a face. Candor, make an insight check.
Okay. My thingy closed.
No problem, man.
Oh, that was to GM. Sorry, that was a 21.
Okay. So she looks confused. She doesn't know what you're talking about with this prayer request thing. She seems to not have any idea how it works. Most likely, like she definitely seems like she casted the spell. She knows what you're talking about with that, but like you're talking about prayer request form, like she doesn't know what that is.
I'm not sure if it worked, but is there a reason why? Did you know the fool?
She says, I'd like to think perhaps better than anyone.
Do you know what happened to him?
She shakes her head, and she says, not for certain. I wasn't there, you see. I stayed back to make sure that he would make it where he needed to go, but I don't know if he made it or not. Even if he did, well, the likelihood of him surviving was low. And I thought maybe if I got the scroll and used it, that somehow it would still work. And I didn't feel anything.
Yeah, that's because it never got confirmed.
What do you mean?
Well, I got the thing, but it never got stamped or sent over to the proper channels.
You got what thing? What are you...
The request I was talking about.
What request? I just cast a spell from a scroll.
Yes, but if you cast something that is of that sort of thing, it has to go through the Arcana.
She kind of like crinkles her nose, and she says, "What do you mean it goes through the Arcana? I cast magic all the time. I don't need permission from Arcana, and you're telling me they didn't approve it?
Well, it didn't go to the right place, so there was no way for them to approve it.
What do you mean? Why wouldn't it go to the right place? Who is it supposed to go to?
It was supposed to go to the Fool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of them was gone, so it just kind of went elsewhere, I guess? I don't really know.
In her defense, we technically never did attempt to approve it.
Yeah.
Well, technically, it got resent to the sun because the Fool wasn't around. So it was like defaulted to this.
Fool's kind of been decommissioned.
Yeah, so it got defaulted to the sun. So here's what happened. Just for those, maybe some of you guys haven't been around long enough to start piecing the puzzle together. She didn't know. Melora's not like tied to heaven, right? Like she's a primordial. She does magic innately. She doesn't ask heaven for permission to her spells. This spell needed heaven's permission. She didn't even know how it worked. She was probably just thinking about Odain when she cast a spell, and that counted as praying or something, right? And so that's probably what happened. So it got sent to the Fool because of that, and because Odain is the Fool. And then there is no Fool because he's dead. So it got like rerouted to the sun. For whatever reason, and of course that caused a whole calamity that just never really got solved because the bureaucracy of heaven is flawed in a way, and also because everything went to shit right after that, and Evan had a lot bigger concerns, and so they just never got around to taking care of it.
Well, that and most of us didn't know the Fool was gone.
Yeah, that too.
Candor, do you still have your supplies with you?
What supplies in particular?
Your stuff to approve and disapprove?
I can't.
I think he was going to say he can't approve or disapprove.
Yeah, I can't do that. That's all the Arcana. Especially for something this high level.
Well, yeah, Melora like turns towards you, Myrkrið, and she says, "Perhaps you're right. Perhaps we do need to slay this Prince of Madness."
Nods at him. Exactly.
She says, "If the Arcana are going to stand in the way of this, after everything he did for them, I'll find a way into heaven. I'll take care of it myself. I don't know how I'll do it, but I'll do it."
They're not standing in the way. They literally don't know it's been requested.
No. You see, they betrayed him before. They set him up. This wasn't the first time. That's why he left in the first place.
So,
Well, we need to get that key then, if you want to have a chat.
Oh yeah, you saw the key. Never mind.
Melora, was the fool here?
She says here in this place. She shakes her head.
Well, yeah, you said that you knew him and you knew what happened to him, and you're watching over him. That means he must be nearby.
No,
right?
she shakes her head. Wasn't always here.
Where were you?
She says,
Heaven?
No, never been to heaven. The world and the Feywild for some time. And I suppose some other planes too, but not this one.
And what exactly happened to him? Why is it that you need to revive him? Obviously, he passed away, but how? He's an Icona.
There's a realm that is just beyond the material, like a close neighbor. It's called the Feywild. The Archfey there were being slaughtered by the flesh gloon, I think they called it.
Quartz looks at Myrkrið.
Zeus does too.
Flesh.
Yeah. Hey, Myrkrið probably knows the feeling, actually. Like, oh, it sounds like where I came from.
Sorry, can you say that again? My internet cut out.
So she's telling the story about the Feywild being attacked by the flesh and nearly wiped out.
Okay.
And he said, Quartz looks over at you when she mentions the flesh killed nearly.
I heard that part and I was like, wow.
Luce would look at Mir too.
And yeah, she says, their Archfey that was closest to some friends of mine, a leader for them, was killed, I suppose, in a way. But there was a ritual to sort of undo it, to fix what was done. The cost was a life. It would save the realm. He would be able to undo nearly all the tragedy that had befallen it, and I suppose if they succeeded, he has by now. O'Dane, being the foolish, naive idiot that he was, made that sacrifice to save those people. When she says idiot, she does kind of say it in like an endearing way. And she says, I can't imagine a more deserving reason to be brought back. Can you?
No, I didn't. I wasn't even aware that had happened. Honestly, it wasn't until recently where we found out the pool was gone to begin with.
Yeah, really not that long ago at all, really.
Yeah, she kind of like... So they didn't even... She just like kind of shakes her head. They just tried to hide it or forget about it. They didn't even make a statue or anything.
No.
Not that I know of. So
Give them time.
So then your plan is to get to heaven then? Seems like our goals align.
She nods. She says, Prince of Madness said if I carried out his tasks, he'd give me the key. I did. And he didn't hold up his end of the bargain. He instead decided to try to drive me insane.
So bargaining.
Well, seems it succeeded, really.
So he admitted to having the key.
She nods.
What was his task for you?
Question is, has he realized what it does?
She says, I suspect it has something to do with my father. He wanted information. He wanted to know how to do certain rituals, what kinds of arrangements he had made, secrets. I was all too happy to give them, eager to get back at him. There were a few other things too. It's not important now. She points to the horns on her head, and she says, one of them got me these. And she says a run-in with what was the creature's name? Shit. Just had it. Sorry. Sorry, 1 second, I'll find it again.
Infinite glistening agonies?
No.
Figured I'd give it a guess.
That's a good guess.
Gloon.
No.
Awesome.
It was... here it is. The Rage of War. One of the princes. Some of his forces. Used the name Rak Tulkesh. Basically the demonic prince of like hatred, greed, all battle ties to it. So think like Warhammer 40K's demon god of war, Khorne, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take it they're the owner of the pit Hans was talking about?
She shakes her head. And she says, no, the pit is sort of a communal space. They all have stocks that they own in it. The pit within the pit, as I like to call it. You see, the city has a place called the Pit of Perdition. It's sort of our district. Inside are small hovels, shops, places where folks like us scratch out a small hovel. But there's also a place called the Fighting Pits that resides there. Those are the pits he was speaking of.
Oh, what is the purpose of them? Get yourself noticed? Higher ranks?
Mostly entertainment through cruelty, from what I can understand. Crowds do love to see creatures be torn apart. It sounds like it's basically heaven, but the dark side. In a lot of ways, it is. I mean, it's a lot worse than heaven, for sure. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Like, heaven wasn't doing this kind of stuff. You know? I suppose the big difference is, and I was wondering if some of you were going to ask this, but heaven sort of puts off this idea that everything in the void is evil. But a lot of these demons are just like, they're not going to die, but they're basically just trying to survive. They're trying to get by. They're trying to claw their way up.
Right.
Whereas,
Make a living.
Yeah. Whereas, like, these princes are definitely fucking evil, right? Like, there's no question.
Barbados doesn't sound evil.
Which
Time
Which one was Barbados? Oh, I forgot already.
The Time Warden.
The Time Warden.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, you just get to know him first.
There's an interesting story there.
There's definitely an interesting story there, for sure. We might have gotten a glimpse at him already.
Barbados is the one I don't want to run across. We could sit and chat for 10 minutes of tea and then 2 centuries have passed.
But I get a 2-century nap, right?
I wish.
So when do these two wake up? And he'll like move the head around.
How long has it been since you guys had a long rest?
Probably like 3-4 hours.
Something like that, yeah.
Not that long then, huh?
Yeah, not horribly long.
Melora looks up towards the sky and sort of like raises a hand, like a cupped hand, towards the faint light that's far off in the distance in the sky. Survival is wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She says, it's going to be some time. It seems to somewhat work as day-night cycles in the material.
What are you looking for? How can you tell?
How dim the light is. There seems to be, as opposed to like a midnight or like a sunrise. There's a sort of eclipse, I guess you'd call it. It seems to trigger their, well, I suppose now, our regenerating effect.
Oh, it always happens at the same time for everybody?
She nods.
Good to know.
Make a history religion check. Okay. You remember a story. Wolfrin's going to be like, oh, I know this story. As soon as we start talking about, he told me this in a private conversation is what Wolfrin's about to say. Maybe he wasn't going to say it out loud. Okay, so there's this story of a long, long time ago where there's like super evil demon lord, like one of the first that heaven fought right after the Arcana were founded, one of the early battles. They fought this immense demon god. Maybe it was Orcus or something along those lines. So they defeat Orcus eventually. He's not truly dead though. So what they ended up having to do is like separate his body into pieces and scatter it throughout the cosmos. Because he was like one of the first super powerful demonic entities, and his death sort of like coincided with like the separation of the planes that created the void. His head was scattered far from the light of the fountain into the darkness, and supposedly that is the seed from which the void grew, because his influence lives on. Now, from the stories and depictions, who knows what's really true, but it was said to be so immense that his severed head that was scattered would be the size of a moon, a planet. She did mention an eclipse.
How long does the eclipse last for?
Usually just a few moments.
Anybody got a telescope?
Nope.
What is that?
Allows you to see things far away. I know you probably don't care for them, but what do you know about the scholar one?
I assume that question is directed at Melora.
Yeah.
What was the question? Sorry.
What does she know about the Scholar Prince?
What does Melora know about the Scholar Prince? Let's see. Well, Melora, what do you know about the Scholar Prince? You don't have very many skills that would apply here, so religion or Arcana? Let's say religion, which is wisdom, yeah? Religion, wisdom? I think it is. 16. Yeah, you're talking about the Elforge Scholar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Hellish Scholar. Forbidden Knowledge, Arcane Lore. She would say, not much, to be honest. Was one of theirs that I got the scroll from.
What does he like to trade in?
Well, forbidden knowledge, particularly, I would think. Knowledge that would go against the teachings of heaven, most likely. Necromancy, dark magics.
Could we trade in knowledge of the key?
Or maybe untold secrets?
I'm sure between the rest of us, we have plenty of secrets to share.
Yeah, but are they useful?
I'm sure with our age, me and Maki-e have enough for bartering. Do you think he'd be willing to bite?
Spoiler Candor.
Sorry, are you talking to me again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we willing to bite? What? What was the question?
With the amount of, with our age and everything, do you think we'd at least be able to get his interest?
She says, well, I don't know. Perhaps if you manage to have something they don't know, but I'm certain they know about the key.
Luce looks over at Maki-e.
With your domain being forbidden knowledge, there's probably not much they don't already know. But if you're particularly close with the nature of secrets, maybe you can figure something out.
Would you be willing to help, dear?
Maybe.
Would be going against everything. You know, they won't be happy with us if they find out.
But if it's the only way back home, it's the only way I can give my report. So they'll have to deal with it.
Hey, Quartz. She can be fun.
We'll see. You're fun, right? Maki-e?
Why wouldn't I be?
You seem very, very serious.
Get a little sake in her. That'll loosen her up.
I'm on the job.
When are you not?
And if the job requires you to drink?
Well, it depends.
So, do we stay here until they awake?
Oh, I figured we've been moving this whole time.
Yeah, I thought we were moving.
Yeah, I thought we were moving too.
Talking.
All right. So you all have been hiking up this mountain this entire time?
Yeah.
All right. So as you maybe it's been like another couple hours. I mean, maybe we just caught bits of the conversation there. But you all make it to the crest of this mountain as you reach the top of the hill. Come on, Roll20, just let me copy the tokens, please. It's not that serious. What? Come on. What are you doing? Roll20.
Roll20 says no.
Please, Roll20. All right, so what I gotta do is I gotta delete that, and then I should be fine. All right. Now, let me pull y'all on over here. So you crest the top of this hill, and you look down on this sort of part necropolis, sort of city that's built into the mountains. You're looking down and almost a sort of valley, but there are little enclaves and pockets sort of scattered all around. Now, maybe you were expecting a grand site for the sort of would-be capital city of the void. I mean, it has sort of been hyped up a bit from some of our now dead travel companions. And as you crest the top of this mountain looking down the city, I think either Melora or Hands sort of gives you a official welcoming to Tanfo Chetiet, the city of the damned.
Biggest city Myrkrίδ's ever seen.
It's pretty
Maybe
sizable.
get that in the chat.
The Tanfo Chetiet.
It's at the top of the map.
It is at the top of the screen.
I would like that so that way I don't have to try to find.
Right,
Because
right.
the E, the E has a dot
Yeah, the
underneath
special
it, too.
characters.
Ah,
All right, I got you. 1 second.
please go easy on your poor note taker. Thank you. Impressive.
Melora points to a location down towards the center of the city. It looks like kind of a crater. It might be considered one of the slummiest looking parts of the city. And she says, that's where we stay. The Pit of Perdition. Now there are creatures running around. I mean, it's a populated city, so you're gonna see just looking down from this high, maybe they're just silhouette shapes. But you'd probably be able to make out even from this distance. There are also creatures flying overhead. Demons, just freaking demons everywhere, bro.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, just loads of demons all over the place.
Are we far enough for the madness to have stopped?
I mean, you weren't being
When we
affected
first
by
started talking, we were already.
Yeah.
But how
Then we
about
took a rest.
okay.
So if you're asking if the effects you've already suffered leave, no, they don't. They don't.
So Melora was lying.
No,
Or-
she
Or she
Melora-
didn't
Misinformed.
know.
she didn't know exactly how it worked, but what she did, she got you outside the radius so you wouldn't be hit again. It is
Gotcha.
it is quote an indefinite madness. Now there are ways to get rid of it, but it is permanent in some aspects. Okay, the ways to get rid of it are pretty difficult. There's one obvious way, which some of you have named already. But yeah, so like basically she got you outside the area of effects so you wouldn't suffer the effects again. You could have been stacking madnesses on top of each other. That's something that could have happened if you had stayed.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So when we go and kill Demogorgon, it'll have to be quick.
Yeah, you might say that. Yeah. You might want to try to do it as fast as possible for sure.
we'll just go throw Ruin in the pit, put a bunch of bets on him, and we'll be good.
Or Myrkrið.
Myrkrið can stop. Ruin can't. So we'll just go throw Ruin in there.
Myrkrið will glance over at Ruin and say, he looks pretty stoppable.
Well, I do have his axe right now.
I suppose Ruin can also revive.
So where should we go from here?
We're not actually in the city yet, I don't think.
We're just at the crossings.
Well, Laura, that's a question that's been plaguing me that maybe you can answer.
What?
They're going to lean over because they don't want hands. But it's like, if we die down here, what is going to happen to us?
She says, well, I suppose the same thing that happens if you die up there. She says, I suppose it depends.
That's the problem. People are dying in heaven.
Yeah, it is kind of a decent cliffhanger. I hear you, Ella. I was kind of thinking about it there for a second, but do you guys want to wrap up here, or do you want to keep going a little bit, or what? I thought we were gonna make it here. I thought we were gonna make it up in here ages ago. By the way, so
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Oopsies.
wrap up here. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to answer because Mori did just ask me a question. Remind me if you die here. Okay, so she says she said I suppose the same thing that happened. You say well, people are dying in heaven. She says no, that's what I mean. She says I died here. How do you think I got these? And she points to the horns on her head, and then we cut to black. And
Wait, she came here and then died?
She died, and then she came here and she died some more.
Okay.
Died some more.
There's
Not died again. Died some more.
This is not understanding the predicament.
there is more to the story than just that. It's not quite that simple, but you'll have to get that out of her next time on Forest of Flesh. Yeah, so I was hoping that we would just get right to the city today, and you guys would be able to go out and like maybe do some shopping if you wanted to, kind of settle in. I wouldn't throw any big combats at you, but we got a lot of lore today. I feel like, which we needed.
If we don't get a 4 in lore, I'm going to be upset.
I think I have to give you a 4 in lore. Like I don't have a choice because basically all you guys did the whole session was like lore and RP.
It's lore.
Lore P.
Yeah, so I mean, you definitely got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that I've been looking for chances to bring up throughout this entire campaign, like the whole thing with Orcus Head and the Eclipse. I know I've mentioned that to Wolf ages ago, and he can probably vouch for that. That was a cool idea. I remember hearing somewhere, and I thought it would be cool to like incorporate it here. I don't remember where I actually heard it. I remember I thought I heard it one place, and it turned out to not be that place. So I don't know. So obviously you get a 0 for combat.
What? There was combat in my head.
No, you didn't do any combats this session, unfortunately.
You actually saw the temple take down a certain demon. That's combat.
The tower?
The tower, you mean?
Sorry, the tower. God.
Yeah, you saw a vision of it. You didn't actually fight anything, though. Is the thing. Sorry, you're not getting anything for combat. I'm sorry. I tell you what. Battle Royale, battle to the death, real quick, and I'll give you guys combat experience.
I'm good.
You'll fight to the death. No?
I don't think it would be quick, so.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing.
All right.
Myrkrið just slaughters the entire party.
So I'll give you guys a 4 for lore quest. The RP was pretty good. I mean, I would like to get more folks involved in some of the stuff. Maybe that was on me, but I'll give you guys a 3 in RP. It was nice to see like we haven't gotten to see like a lot of the Lucero stuff in the foreground. It's kind of been in the background more, and it was kind of nice to see like Lucero almost as like the leader of the group this session, like asking all the questions, the one with all the knowledge and that kind of thing. So it's kind of cool to see you get the spotlight for a little while today, Lucero. And rule of cool, there was a couple things I remember making notes on, like a couple cool little things you guys were doing. I can't recall some of them off the top of my head. But the lore thing that Myrkrið did was pretty neat. I dug that. The legend lore thing. All the stuff with Lucero, those crits that you were getting, like 2 crits in a row and stuff, that was pretty cool. I'd call that cool.
If only I'd gotten one more.
Yeah.
I think it was missed because it was only in the Roll20 text chat, but Abe and Flo made stones and passed them out to people, and apparently they're calming stones.
Okay.
I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find where it went. Maki-e was looking at him suspiciously and trying to figure out what they were, and all he said is that they're calming or something, and Maki-e still doesn't know that she trusts it.
Yeah.
I thought you were looking at him suspiciously, and I was like, "What is this about?" And then we got distracted, so I never looked at it.
Really, he made some stones. He took them off of marred flesh and tinkered with them for a while. Like before we started walking again, and then he passed them out to all the PCs.
Oh yeah, that's why he was asking for a couple minutes. That might be why Myrkrið was like, "Are we moving? Are we not?"
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, right on. I'll bump it up then. I'll give you guys a 3 for rule of cool. That puts you at a total for 10 for the session, which I feel like is pretty good. 10% of level is not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. So you guys did awesome today. Love the RP. Love the lore. The lore is my favorite stuff. I know it bores some people sometimes, but I always love a good excuse to get into lore. So
I like lore and roleplay 100% more than combat. So I'm happy for it. Even if I didn't participate much today in the conversations, I like it.
All right. Cool. Right on. Well, you guys did fantastic as always. Always a pleasure playing with you guys. Can't wait to play again next week. For those of you watching, thank you for watching. This is where I'm going to do shout outs. So I'm going to get ready to link some stuff here. If you're watching on the YouTube, all the links are in the description down below. But guys, the Discord server is free. It's for the public. You don't have to pay to enter. You can jump in at this link right here, and you can see the crazy memes that get posted during shows. You can ask questions if you want. If you want to be lored right in the lore some more, there's a whole lore section where you can ask questions and get your lore fix. And try to answer everything as best as possible. You can also ask questions about the characters and their backstories. If you have any questions about those guys, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to sort of talk about that stuff and go over that stuff with you guys. You can also check out the Deviant art page for Jessica Peguerero, who did the art for Vash, Wolfrin's A-Team character on this show, at this link here. And that's all the links. I always feel like I don't have that many links for the show because all the other shows have more shout outs. It's weird. We need to get more shout outs for the show. Let me know. If you guys have anything to add, let me know. Okay. But I guess you can find my link tree here. I mean, I feel like if you're watching, you already know where to find me, but here's where to find me on other places. Anybody have anything to add?
Nope.
Not that I know of.
Do we have a remember? Do we have a remember today, Zach?
Remember, don't throw your enemy's head into the darkness.
All right. All right. Well, thanks, guys. So coming up this week, we're going to have Broken Wednesday, and then we'll return Monday with Force of Flesh, and we'll have Broken Wednesday that week. We'll have Masks Tuesday, our Haze Crux game, and we'll have Unknown New Orleans that week, too. What you got, Maury?
Just since it's coming up, because unfortunately it does fall on Forest of Flesh days. Not next week, but the week after. What are we going to do since Christmas and New Year's both fall on day?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, yeah, they do.
I didn't even realize.
Week after next.
So Christmas, I'm probably going to be going out of state for Christmas Day.
Okay.
New Year's is my birthday, but I don't really have any plans, so I can hang out with you guys and play some D&D if you want. Up to you guys.
Whatever the birthday guy wants.
I'd like to
totally
play
up to
some
you.
D&D. I'd like to.
I'm not positive about my New Year plans, but I believe I also have plans for Christmas. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I generally have plans all around Christmas, so we'll have to see how that works.
Cool.
If all else fails, we can always hang out and play games.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down for that. Some Lethal Company or something. I'm loving that game so much. It's so fun.
Lethal!
So fun. I've never laughed so hard as I've laughed playing.
Maybe I can bug out and be heard in the ship again.
Yeah, they just did an update to the game, and they added like new monsters and stuff. I've heard, and items and all that kind of junk. Yeah,
they added a lot.
yeah. So it might be fun. I think it's a blast. It's $10 if anybody's interested. There's like very low graphical requirements. It's just a good old game. It's just a great game. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Also, if you're into other horror games by the same developer, there is a game called It Steals.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't even know.
Steals?
It's a single developer, right?
I believe so.
Dude, it's super impressive with their.
Yeah, It Steals is horrifying in that it changes the way that you like play a horror game, basically.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. I'll have to check it out. I mean, like what they've done with this game is super creative. So I'd definitely be down to look at some of their other stuff. It Steals.
Yeah,
I'll check it out. Cool. Well, I love you guys. Everybody have a great night. Fantastic week.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. If I don't see you before then, we're gonna be playing next week. Not you guys, the audience. Merry Christmas. I'll tell you guys Merry Christmas next week. We're on Christmas. Bye everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Good night, guys.
Peace.
Night.